In this video, we will look at setting up a project information model where we work share within a single discipline's model. The learning content, an overview of work sharing, how we initiate a work shared model, synchronizing to central, setting the property sets and publishing models. When working with a Revit model in a work shared environment, utilizing the Autodesk Construction Cloud, first of all we need to save the file directly into the cloud. We can do this in two ways. Firstly, we can go to File, Save As, and Cloud Model. This will allow us to save the model into the cloud based on this being a single user only model. As you can see, it's selected the project. We can then go into our area to save the file. Now this is the architecture model, so I'm going to go into the work in progress area under architecture and I'm going to save. Firstly, I'm just going to check the file name is correct as we've assigned the naming convention on the project in the folder. If I hit save, this will now save the Revit model into the cloud. One thing we need to do before we can set the model as a work shared model is make sure that the service has been turned on for this specific user. So I'm going to switch over to the Construction Cloud. As you can see, I'm back in Autodesk Docs. I'm just going to switch over to the project admin area and selecting myself as a user, I'm just going to check to make sure that the service is turned on, which it is, so I can utilize the work shared. Now going to back into my application and then switch over to the Collaborate tab. We can now select work sets from the Manage Collaboration tab. This allows us to enable the work shared environment. Firstly, to utilize the subscription for the Autodesk's BIM Collaborate Pro, we need to select all these tick boxes here on the left and then select Enable. This will then activate the collaboration and the file will become work shared, as you can see on the screen. Now it's enabling us to select the work sets. We'll do this shortly. If I click OK, the model will now become a work shared environment. The second option is we can go straight to the Collaborate tab, and this time you'll see we have an icon, Collaborate. This allows us to save the model directly to the cloud and collaborate at the same time. Make sure you select in the cloud, click OK. Once the project window opens, again we can select the project specifically and the location where we need to save the file, in this case the structures area. The naming convention needs to be correct as you save the file into the cloud and then click Save. If you have any issues with regards to the file uploading, i.e. the naming convention, please refer back to video 1.1.3 setting up the ISO naming logic. As you can see, the model is now saved. Let's quickly switch over to Autodesk Docs. If we switch to the area where we've saved the file, in this case under Work in Progress and Structure, you'll notice the file doesn't appear. I'm going to go back up to the holding area, and as explained in the setting up ISO naming logic video, you can see here the file has not been accepted. We need to make sure that we select it and ensure the naming is correct. In this case, it is asking us for the status and the revision. I'm going to leave the classification for now. Click Save at the bottom of the screen. It should move the file from this area directly to the folder on which we saved it in, as you'll see here under the structure. I'm just going to give it the name. What you'll notice if we scroll across the right hand side, the version history. And I'll go through that in a second and how that changes as you save the model. Even though we've saved the model to the cloud, we need to publish the model directly. This allows us to publish either the default 3D model and other 3D views, or plans, sections and elevations included in this publish. As you'll see in Autodesk Docs, we are currently set to version 2. I want to now make the latest version published to the cloud. If I switch back to Revit, you will notice on the screen here we have a publish settings. If I select this, this is very similar to when you are exporting your DWG files or printing your drawings. You will notice here we have one currently set. This is set to set 1. I can always rename this or create a new one. So for example, in this one I just want a 3D model. I'm going to give it a specific name. I'm going to scroll down and select 3D models in view. I just want the proposed 3D structural included. I'm going to select 3D model and then save and close. Now you'll notice once you've done this, it won't save the model direct to the cloud. We need to publish the model to the cloud. This can be done by either selecting Manage Cloud Models. As you'll see here, this highlights the project or projects you have, so I can select which one I want to publish. What this will do now is allow me to select and publish the file directly to the cloud. Now as you can see, I can see both files because I have access to them both. If I come down here to the structures one, you'll notice there's a little arrow pointing up. If I select that, what it will do, it will tell me it's now going to publish the model back to the cloud. I can close this window whilst it's doing this. I can also actually shut down the model itself. It's asking me to synchronize to central, which I'll do so. Now what you'll notice, this file itself, back in the Revit environment, you'll notice it says publish available. Although the file is being published, if I wanted to, I could always go into here, drop down the little 3 dots at the bottom and publish the latest for me. Back into Autodesk Docs, and you should see the version number update with the appropriate time and date saved.